Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And we are starting our calendar blanket in the month of March. And this is our first Friday in March. It looks like we're going to be making a shamrock, but we're going to do a diamond. So we're continuing our diamonds, and it'll be a shamrock. So that is what we are working on today. So I am using this green from I Love This Yarn, and it's called Jelly Green. So that's the green. And this is the Big Twist yarn, which is, we're still using the blue, which is the cerulean blue that we're doing. Alright, so we're going to start out with the green. There's my needle. And we're only going to have 2 colors today, so it'll be easy. This is going to be an easy one. Alright, so we'll start out with the green. And we're going to start with a slip knot. And we're going to chain 2. Let me see how to make sure you could see me. Okay, so we're going to chain 2, and in the second chain from the hook we're going to put a single crochet and 2 doubles, and that is called a falling leaf stitch, and that is also row 1. Easy peasy. So row 1, block 1. So each one of these is called blocks. So we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. And in the second chain from the hook, we're going to do the same thing as we did with this one. We're going to put the falling leaf stitch in there, which is a single crochet and 2 doubles. And now we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and these are the doubles that we're skipping, and we're going straight to the single, which is this last stitch down here, and you're going to put another falling leaf stitch in there. And that is row 2, and row 2 has 2 blocks. And this is how you know which row. Row 3 will have 3 blocks. Row 4 will have 4 blocks. That's how you know which row you're in. So there you go. Now we're going to chain 1, 2 and turn. And this is where our other color is going to come in to play. So in the second chain from the hook, and we'll be doing this at the beginning of every row. That's why we chain 2, so we could put a falling leaf stitch in the second chain from the hook. Now in this last double I'm not going to complete because I want to bring in the blue next. So I am going to bring in the blue, finish up that stitch with the blue so that we can bring in the blue. We're going to carry the green with us because we are going to need that green for the last stitch. So in the next stitch, which you're skipping the 2 doubles and going into the single right here, you're going to put blue. And now I'm going to go back over to the blue, or to the green, and we're going to drop the blue. I'm just going to drop the blue there. And in the last stitch right here is we're going to put the green. So every time we are skipping those 2 doubles every time. And you're only going to be putting falling leaf stitch in the single crochets. Alright, so that was row 3. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's mark off our rows. So 1, 2, and 3 is done. And now we get to start row 4. Okay, so row 4 is we're going to chain 2 and turn. And we're going to start in the second chain from the hook like we always do at the beginning of every row. So we're going to put a single and 2 doubles in there, which is our falling leaf stitch in our first square of this. So we need to go to the blue again. I'm going to bring that forward and bring the blue up. And I'm going to carry this green with us. So, because we need it for the last stitch. So, we need to put 2 blue in next. So, there's 1 and 2. Alright. And then the last stitch, we're going over to green. The last stitch, we're going to put the green in. And there is row 4. And we have 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. So row 4 is completely done. And on to row 5. So we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. And we're going to start off here with, in the second chain from the hook, to put our falling leaf stitch in there. Let me see. Make sure I think that we're too close. Now we're better. Here we go. That's better now. Alright, so the first square is always green, and then you'll always be going to blue in your second square. So now we're going to need 3 blue while we're carrying our green, because we're going to need it at the end of this row. So there's 1, 2, and here's another blue. And 3. Now we will bring back our blue, and we're just going to drop this blue. We're not carrying it. And we're going to finish off our last chain with the green, our last stitch. And that is what row 5 should look like. And again, row 6, chain 2 and turn. We're going to start with, in the second chain from the hook, with our green. And then we're going to switch over to the blue. Bring the green forward. That's so I don't get these yarns tangled. It's no fun when the yarns get tangled. Alright, so now I'm going to start with the blue, but now I need 4 blue in the middle, and then a green. So that's a green, 4 blue, and a green. Alright, so there's 1. And then make sure you carry this green with us, because we're going to need that at the end. And as you're doing this, you're pulling it, but not too tight. You're just pulling it So there's 3 and we need 1 more. And then we're going to drop that blue and bring the green back. And then we're going to put a green in the last stitch. And there is row 6. 1, 2, 3, yep, 4, 5, 6. So let's mark off 5 and 6. And go to row 7. Alright, so there's chain 2 and turn. And we're going to start in the second chain from the hook with our green. But we're not going to finish it because we need to go to our blue. And we're going to need 5 blue next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so now we need to, yeah, we did that right. Put the green in the last one. Get our green block in there. And there you go. And there's row 7. So row 8, chain 2 and turn. And in the second chain from the hook, we are going to start our first square. Bring in the blue. Now we are going to need 6 blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to switch over back over to the green. Put the green one in the last one. So that was 7 and 8. We should have 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, so there's what 8 looks like, 8 rows. And let's mark those off. And 9 is next. So chain 2 and turn. And in the second chain from the hook, we're going to start our green block. And we're going to finish it off with the blue so that we need to put 7 blue in next. Oh. Alright, so there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Let's go back to the green, and we're going to finish off with the green. And there we go. So there is 9 and 10 is next. Chain 2 and turn. And we're going to start in a second chain from the hook with our green. And then we're going to go over to the blue. Now we need 8 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7, and 8. And now I'm going to switch back over to the green, and we'll finish this row off with one green. And that's row 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's row 10. So that's what it looks like thus far. And we need to mark those 2 rows off. Nine and 10. And then row 11 is next. So let's chain 2 and turn our work. Let me make sure. Alright, in the second chain from the hook, we start our square. Bring in the blue. And now we need 9 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And then back to the green. And then we'll finish off with the green. And that was row 11. Chain 2 and turn. Row 12. And we're going to start our square in a second chain from the hook again. And now we need 10 blue in this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this will be 10. And drop the blue, bring up the green, and we're going to put a green one in that last stitch. Alright, so easy so far. There's 12 rows. Let's get those marked off. Now, things are going to start changing a bit because we're going to start our picture soon in this row. So we're going to chain 2 and turn. And then in the second chain from the hook, again, we're going to start our green block. And now we need to switch over to blue. So we need 3 blue. While we're carrying our green. There's 2, and this is 3. And now we're going to switch over to green, and we need 2 green. And we're switching back over to blue. And we're going to need 6 blue. So there's 3. 4. 5. 6. And then we're going to end up with the green one in the end. And that is what row 13 looks like. So, let's mark it off. 14 is next. And we're going to chain 2 and turn. And we need to put our first block in the second chain from the hook, like we normally do, and switch over to blue. And we are going to need 6 blue again. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. Now we're switching back over to green, and we need 3 green. So there's 1. 2. 3. And now we need 3 blue. So there's 1. 2. And 3. Now back to green. And the last one is green. And there's row 14. So, mark off row 14. Row 15 is next. Chain 2 and turn. And start with our green in the second chain from the hook. And now we need to switch over to blue. And now we need 4 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3, and 4. And now let's switch back over to the green, and we need 3 green, there's 1, 2, and 3. Switching to the blue, we need 6 blue, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now our last one is green. And that is row 15. So we've got 15 rows already. Ten more to go to get to row 25. You get some green out of this skein. There we go. Alright, so chain 2 and turn for row 16. And we're going to start our green in our second chain from the hook. And then switch over to blue. And we need 7 blue. Alright, so there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. So now we'll drop the blue and go back to the green, and we need 3 green here. Working on this shamrock. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4 now we need 4 blue, and a green to finish this off. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we just need a green on here at the end. There's row 16. Let's mark it off. Row 17 is underway. Chain 2, and in the second chain from the hook, we have start our green square. Okay, now we need to go to blue, and we are needing 5 blue next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, now let's switch over to green. And we need 3 green again. So there's 1, 2, 3. Now we're back to blue, and now we need 7 blue and a green to finish this off. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Alright, so we are switching back to green and finishing this off with the green. And that is row 17. Let's mark it off. All right. Row 18 is next. And we are going to chain 2 and turn. And then the second chain from the hook, as we usually do in this pattern, I'm going to put our green one in there. And then we need to switch over to blue. We are going to need 8 blue this time. So there's 1. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And this is 8. And now we're going to switch over to the green. That blue we drop back there. And now we need 5 green. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. So we'll drop the green, go back to the blue, and then we need 3 blue and a green to finish this off. And that is row 18. Let's mark it off. Row 19. We're going to chain 2 and turn. Starting in the second chain from the hook. And then when switching over to blue, bring that green forward. And we are going to need 3 blue. So there's 1. Two. And 3. 3 blue, 6 green. Oh, wait a second. I didn't do that right. Hang on a minute. This is my green. Okay. Drop that back. There we go. Now I need 6 green. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. Now we need to switch over to blue and put 1 blue in. And now we're going to switch back over to green. And we need 2 green. Back to blue. Whoops, we need another double one there. And we need 1 blue. And then back to green. 1 green. Back to blue. And now we need 3 blue and a green to finish this off. in the last one. And look, it's getting a little bit interesting. Alright, so there is row 19. Need the red one. And on to row 20. So we're going to chain 2 and turn. And in the second chain from the hook, we're going to put our green square in. And go to blue. So we're going to need 3 blue here. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to green. And now I need 5 green next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going back to the blue, and we need 1 blue. Come on. And then back to the green. We're going to need 5 green. And then let's do 5 green. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we're going to switch back over to the blue, and now we need 4 blue and a green to finish this row off. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then switch back to green, and the last stitch is green. And that's 20 rows. Look at that. All right. Okay, so row 21. Chain 2 and turn. And in the second chain from the hook, put our green square in, our block. And then we need to go to blue. Whoa. There we go. And we are needing 4 blue next. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. Now we're switching back over to green. And we're going to need 11 green. Alright, so there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. And let's switch back over to blue. And now we need 4 blue and a green to finish off this row. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And let's finish off. And there's 21 rows. So if you see that. All right. All right, so row 22. Chain 2 and turn. And in the second chain from the hook, we need to start our green. And then we need 8 blue after that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's drop the blue. And now we need 7 green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Switch over to the blue. And we need 5 blue and a green to finish off this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now here's our green one. And there we go. Alright, so that is row 22. Row 23, we're going to chain 2 and turn. And we're going to start our first square in the second chain from the hook like we usually do. Alright, we need to bring the blue up next. And I need 6 blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6. So we're going to switch over to the green, and we're going to need 6 green. While we're carrying our blue with us. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we need to switch over to the blue, and we need 10 blue next. 10 blue and a green, or no, 9 blue, not 10. 9 blue and a green will finish this off. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then switch over to the green. And we're going to drop the blue back there and put the green in the last one. we go. So there is 23 rows. And then chain 2 and turn for row 24. In the second chain from the hook, we start our square. Green one. And then we need to switch over to the blue. We are going to need 7 blue. So there's 1. Uh-oh. I don't want that coming up out of there. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And 7. Now we need to switch over to the green, and we need 5 green. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And now let's switch back over to blue. And 10 blue and 1 green will finish off this row. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Switching over to the green. dropping that blue and putting the green in the last stitch. And there you have it. There is row 24. So 24 rows. Row 25 is next. So we're going to chain 2 and turn. And in the second chain from the hook, we're going to put our square, green square, and then switch over to blue. And we need 7 of these. 7 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Switch over to green. And now we need 10 green. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let's switch back to blue, and we need 6 blue and a green to finish off this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dropping the blue, bringing up the green, and putting a green one in this last stitch. Alright, so now here is 25 rows. And this is what it looks like so far. Oh, I could see this now. And there's the stem. This is the one side. So we're heading up. Looking pretty cool. Alright, so that is 25 rows. You should have 25 squares in your row. And this will end this video. We'll be back for the next video to start our decreasing rounds and to finish it, because we're halfway through the square, or the diamond, I should say. And this is looking pretty good so far. I just love it. Alright, so I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and bye-bye now.